And Mind Crypto here. I hope we're all having a wonderful day. Please remember, I'm not a financial advisor and none of this is financial advice, and none of the information provided in this video should ever be taken or seen as a signal to buy or to sell. So I'm back again. I just want to thank everyone for their kind wishes, welcoming back into the space. Even though I never really left the space, I was always over there on X, just taking a breather from YouTube, but I am back. Fire today's video. You're going to like today's video. But before we continue, we can see we're down one rank to 62, market cap of 1.88 billion, current price $129.40, and we're looking at 0.5% down in the hour, up 2.4% in the day, up 8.5% in the week, and up 22.6% in a month, but still up 76.7% in the year, which is absolutely wonderful. It's nice to be talking about bullish things rather than all those videos that I did through the bear market, but we have to go through a bear market to get to where we are now, which is great. Now, if we have a look at the charts are looking quite good. I think we're sort of building a cup and handle here. And I think there's actually a bigger cup and handle on the longer time frames, but we're on the 4 hour here. But could we be building and then bang, off we go. So let's hope we've got a few fair value gaps here, down one at there at 124. We just literally mitigated one, and then we're seeing a slight green candle coming up on the 4 hourly there. If we drop that, then obviously we head down to this point here at 116. But you know, most holders, we've seen it all, haven't we? We really have seen it all the way down, all the way up, all the way down. It's just consistent. But we see this, and I needed to talk about it. It's like the elephant in the room, and we are literally knocking on the door. Now, as we know, Gilbert Verdian announcing Overledger Fusion, the world's first layer 2.5 network for institutions and DeFi. Now, I'm not going to go through all this, but we know what it is. Right, so today they're unveiling our plans for Overledger Fusion, our groundbreaking layer 2 network designed to unlock the full potential of public blockchains for institutions, enterprises, and DeFi ecosystems. Now, this is very, very awesome. So why it matters, the current generation of layer 1 blockchains has successfully demonstrated the value of decentralized systems, resilient, distributed, and secure environments to facilitate the transfer of digital value. Yet, for mainstream institutional adoption, critical challenges remain unsolved. Overledger Fusion is designed to meet growing institutional demand by solving the core limitations of today's public blockchain infrastructure, which continue to be barriers to wide institutional adoption and implementation. Now, we're going to move down slightly, and we see this key drivers behind institutional adoption. Institutions, including banks, fintechs, asset managers, exchanges, and corporates, are eager to adopt public blockchain technology, but face serious barriers. And we see here regulatory compliance, which has always been the one, data privacy, another one, security, interoperability, which we know we are game, and scalability. So the Overledger Fusion solution. Overledger Fusion introduces a new paradigm in blockchain architecture, offering a layer 2.5 multi-chain rollup network that delivers enhanced capabilities over existing single chain layer 2s, a secure pathway for institutions, enterprises, and DeFi users to interact with the public blockchains whilst maintaining regulatory compliance and privacy. The ability for institutions to connect private DLTs and assets to public chains without compromising control. QuantFlow users can integrate Fusion to enhance public blockchain and access and expand their PayScript capabilities. Faster, cheaper, scalable transactions across multiple layer 1 chains. Natively, multi-chain digital assets will secure any-to-any interoperability, no reliance on a 1-1 bridge. DeFi users can deposit, interact, and withdraw assets across chains using the Fusion Layer 2.5 network, moving beyond the limitations of single chain rollups. Quant is the native token powering the securing of the network. All institutions, enterprises, and DeFi participants use Quant to transact with Fusion. Now we go to the bottom. So what is next? Now we know a lot about Fusion, the TNP, the Trusted Node Program. The rollout of Overledger Fusion by Quant Network begins in June 2025. Now this was generally for institutions and large organizations. And he says, with a phased delivery of core features and the trusted node program, each release will expand capabilities, laying the foundations for truly interoperable, scalable, and secure blockchain infrastructure tailored for institutional and DeFi growth. Overledger Fusion marks the beginning of a new era, a universal, a multi-chain layer 2.5 designed to make public blockchains enterprise ready and mainstream. Stay tuned as we reshape the future of decentralized finance and digital infrastructure. This is big. Now, obviously, I wasn't on YouTube when this came out, but I did post it as a post on there. But I am looking forward to this, and we are getting very, very close. Now, if we look here, the roadmap. The following are general roadmaps for two key Fusion components. These are general guidelines. The roadmaps are subject to change according to business and legal requirements. So they are thinking about the overall picture, regulations. Any potential changes to the roadmap will be tracked and recorded, including the reasoning for changes. So we've got DevNet. So we saw DevNet, which was the end of June, which launched with invited testers on selected public blockchain testnets, utilizing and pre-selected trust node providers. Then we got testnet, launched for any QuantConnect user on selected public blockchain testnets, utilizing pre-selected trusted node providers. And this was within a small number of weeks. Now, I like the way they've not been definitive on that. They could just leave that open slightly. But we see this mainnet launched for any QuantConnect user on selected public blockchain mainnets utilizing pre-selected trusted node providers. Again, the time frame within a small number of months. Now, I believe we are literally at the end of testnet. I'm hoping the end of July. Now, are we knocking on the door for mainnet now when we get allowed in? Now, that is pretty sexy. If we can see here, the network of networks roadmap, pre-selected trusted node providers is complete. Bring your own node, buy on selected networks within a few short months. Now, for me, that few short months, we've probably already done a month or so. We are literally looking, I think, at August. That catalyst could throw Quant literally bang on, right on time of when we come into this, the euphoria of the bull run. So really whipping it up just at the right time. Now, I did a post about this because I thought it's really important. I said, what's your plan if we get an option to stake, right? So we put no selling at all, stake 50% of your bag, stake 75% of your bag, or stake 100% of your bag. So 47.4% of people said they're going to stake 100% of their bag. That's huge. So stake 75% of your bag, 15, nearly 16% said they would. Stake 50%, we got 27% almost. And then no selling it all, 10%. Now, that's quite big. You know me, I crunched the numbers. Let's have a look. So the staking poll results are in. We got 527 votes. But we know 47% will stake 100%, 16%, 75%, 27% stake 50%, 10% selling all. Now, this might change, obviously, because people do change their mind. So, our weighted average shows 72.5% of quant will be staked using 12.07 million quant in circulation. That's 8.75 million tokens locked up. But liquidity concerns and incentives could shift this to 60 to 70%. So we're looking at 7.8 million, 8.45 million, which is bullish in my opinion. Larger sample, which would have, if we could have got more than 527, we probably would have got a better mean average. Shows strong staking interest, but lockup periods might deter some. If rewards are juicy, we could see 70 to 80% stake. So really, what I'm asking you, I want you to put in the comments, are you going to stake? How much? So put how much you're going to stake? 50%, 75%, 100%, or you're just going to sell the lot? That's absolutely quite huge. That's really, really weighted. So what do? I'm going to look at this. I'll go a little bit deeper. So I thought, well, let's include Grok on this situation to find out what he thinks with regards to this whole scenario playing out. So the quantitative bull case, aggressive supply demand, a 72.5% supply lock with 3 to 5x demand growth driven by staking, FOMO, and enterprise use could yield a 5 to 10x price jump from $131.84. That's $659 to $1,318 short term. If 80% stake and demand hits 10x, wild but possible in a mania, $1,300 to $2,000 emerges as 2025-2026 target. Historical analog Binance BNB rose 20x during 2017-2018 staking hype. A 10x quant run could see 1318 by Q1 2026. Isn't crazy if Overledger delivers, which we know they love delivering. We also see here, why could this happen? Enterprise adoption. Now, there is a consensus out there that stuff is going on in a sandbox, that a lot of these institutions aren't using real quant, they are out there testing. Now, if this is true and there is a sandbox, what do you think is going to happen when they come out of sandbox and they start using quant? Absolute madness. So, Overledger's cross-chain infrastructure could secure major banks or governments making quant the visa of blockchain. And then we look at the bullish conclusion. Staking 72.5% of Quant's 12 million tokens could catapult the price to from $131 to $639 to $1,318 short term, 3 to 6 months post launch, with a moonshot of $2,000 by mid 2026. So, the bullish conclusion. Staking 72.5% of Quant, 12 million tokens, could catapult the price from 131 or whatever the price is right now to 659 to 1,318 short term, with a moonshot to $2,000. That's quite nice. But if we're not seeing lots of people selling, you know what I mean? This is going to be huge. Now, obviously, with institutional adoption, are we going to see the big dip that we normally see in cycles? Or we're just going to see this gradual increase with regards to this RWA, real world asset, real world use, and has real world value as we move forward? This assumes a perfect storm: high rewards, enterprise deals, and roaring altcoin season. So, where are we? They talk about the small amount of months. I think we're knocking on it. I think this could be the next catalyst. I'm really, really excited. I mean, I've waited for this for ages, like many of you. You know, there's been talk of it for so long. And I think we're almost there. We're literally about to walk through that door. Now, what will the amounts be? I still think they're not going to be stupid. They're going to make this inclusive. They're going to let everybody jump on. And partly because to be inclusive in this way brings more and more quant to the yard, effectively. So I honestly think what will happen is there'll be a trusted node program. There'll be people running nodes, and these nodes effectively will delegate. So they'll have a percentage fee, and they'll delegate those fees down to whoever wants to stake within their node. They're incentivized effectively to offer their nodes out, and people can stake directly to them. Now, there's been many other systems like this. There's sort of a delegation model. That's what I'm hoping for, because obviously it will include everyone. Then people will be able to, stick in their 10 quant, their 15 quant, or whatever the lower numbers, 100 quant. And these numbers will rack up. It will give the opportunity, rather than has to be 500 to 1,000, which doesn't include everyone. So I'm hoping there is some type of delegation model that will be involved, and I'm sure they've thought of everything. So there you go, guys. Exciting. Not long now. All the best, and I'll catch you later.